Good. How are you? Well, there we go. We've recorded. Well, it's nice to talk to you guys. Nice to see you again, Hermione.
Lovely to
So
see.
I want to talk about the finale first, and I want to say this one's for you, Jeremy. Obviously, the plan, at least what they agreed to, is for him to go to the rock because it makes more sense and she is safe. But he puts her hand on the rock, and we don't
Mm.
know, what's going to happen after that. Um, Assuming that she does travel, and I mean, for all we know, the baby could not travel, which would be even worse, and he'd be left really screwed. I don't know.
Yeah.
What were his thoughts, his plans, or was he not really thinking, and all he was thinking about is save her, save the baby?
Um, I mean, men are, I think, often all action, no thought. And I think we've got there. That's it. Get my wife, get my child to safety. And luckily he is more intelligent, more pragmatic second half with him, who sort of stops him and thinks of the problems that might come up. But in the end, there's no way that Henry's ever going to abandon Julia and William. If anyone's going to be left behind, it's him. He has a much better deal back in the 1700s. I mean, poor Julia has been through the ringer. So, yeah, I don't think there was ever a world in which he was going to go through and leave Julia behind.
Right, fair enough. Now, Hermione, assuming she goes through with hopefully with the baby as well, um, is there, I mean, is she, do you think ever consider that she should maybe stay with the children? I mean, assuming if she goes back to her own time, she'd be with Claire too. Or is she kind of in the same way, like not willing to even entertain that thought even?
I think babies are number one. I think for both of them, obviously they can't imagine life without each other, but in the same breath, if it's going to be a case of life without each other or children being safe, they'll choose the children being safe. And I think, yeah, in Julia's ideal scenario, she would go back with Henry and William to Claire. Um, but you know, if there's a chance that William's going to be left on the floor, she's not going to risk that. So yeah, that's any means to protect the children, basically.
Right, but do you think she'd be willing to, if she found Claire, that she would stay with them, or would she have to immediately be like, I gotta go find him now?
Um, would she have William with her?
Yeah, yes. If it's her and William and Claire, would she be willing to stay behind in her present time, her real present?
Yes, I think she. I think she would, but I think she'd try and
Henry
find a
comes to
means to
her.
contact Henry.
Yeah.
I
All
think.
right.
I think she'd have to find a means to try and contact him. But I don't know. Would Henry? Had Henry?
Well, I think, your wife is your most important person in the world until you have children, and then your children are the most important, and your wife is a very, very close second. So it's they're both ready to sacrifice everything for their kids, as any parent would do.
Right, that's fair. Now, obviously, they will, and I know Jeremy kind of knows, or sorry, your character, I'm calling him your character, Jeremy,
That's
um,
right. The director does it all the time. It's fine.
knows what happened, that she's married to Lovett, and probably some of the other things that went on. But
Mm.
do you think I mean, can the relationship still be the same again, or will it? Because I feel like that's still going to change, knowing that she's been with him. And then I'm going to ask you the kind of the flip side of that, since he was with
I
another.
think yes, but this is true love,
Yeah.
and he knows it's reciprocated, and he knows that there is no way she would have ever knowingly hurt him, or would have meant to betray him. It would have been to save her life or save our child's life. So as difficult as that would be for Henry, he's he's got that, and also he hasn't exactly been an angel himself. He's had a misdemeanor. So he's a chivalrous guy, and he knows now's not the time to bring that up. He knows he needs to reassure his wife. He's only just gotten her back. He doesn't want to
Yeah.
risk losing her again. And Henry can be quite forgiving. I'm not sure Jeremy would quite handle it, and with the grace that he does, but
That's fair. What about you, Hermione? Once she finds out that he's been with somebody else, how will that change the relationship? Even if she forgives him, because I'm sure she will. But
Um, I think there's a betrayal there. I think in reality, there is always going to be an element of betrayal. You know, he slept with another woman. Um, I know he wasn't in his right
Are we
mind, but
talking
that's
about me sleeping with someone or you sleeping with someone? Oh, I was talking about you sleeping with Lovett.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, I think we're doing the reverse now.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
So
Now I'm asking her
now,
about your
so I'm
what.
now talking about you sleeping with Seema.
cool.
Um, but I think, yeah, I think there's always going to be a level of betrayal. You're never going to be able to just immediately accept that. You know, that's a horrible thought for anyone. And he wasn't in his right mind, but in the same breath, I don't know, he didn't need to do it. I'm really on Julia's side.
Fair enough. Is
Yeah.
there anything that you guys are allowed to say about season two? Because you've already started filming, right? The second
I'm
season.
filming. We're
We
halfway
have, yeah.
through.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
there anything you're allowed to say at all or tease or anything?
Well, there's sort of what we've been talking about. There's some tough things to address for Henry and Julia. Um, and I didn't see they brought me in for a costume fitting and showed me my costume for episode one. I went, why on earth would he be wearing that? Because I hadn't seen the script yet. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it. It surprised me. So hopefully it will surprise the fans as well. Yeah.
Do you have anything you can say or it's different for you? It's okay if you don't. I just figured I.
I will. What can I say? Um, I think Julia has a new set of challenges, but I think she has a lot of things to resolve and fix, is what I will say.
All right.
Um, there's some broken things that need to be sorted out across the board in her life,
All
I'd
right.
say.
That
That's
was
Very
very good
cryptic.
from you, Hermione, because you are
Thank you.
normally
I
the
know.
spoiler queen. So that
I
was
know.
very
I
good.
did well there. I said the most cryptic, vague thing I possibly could think of.
no, that works. That's great. Were you two worried all going in the beginning with knowing like this is such a big franchise and now being a big part of it? And how does it feel different now coming into season two, having already, dealt with all of that somewhat? Maybe not a lot, but somewhat for both of
Oh.
you.
Yeah. I mean I was in blissful ignorance and now I'm stressed out. So yeah. No.
You're more stressed out now.
No, in a nice way. No, but I didn't know how I didn't appreciate how much it, meant to the fan base. And obviously you're still doing your best. You're doing your best. But now I'm like, I really want to make, the fans, happy. We're making the show for the fans. And I just want to really make sure that I do my best. And we do what they've got high expectations and we got to do it justice.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Hermione? Has it become easier or harder like for him?
I think easier, just I think the response has been so lovely. So I feel like I feel relaxed now that we've been accepted. I think that's probably
Mm.
how I feel. Yeah. I know what Jeremy means about pressure, but I think for me, I feel more relaxed. Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
I'd quite
Um,
happily live in a bubble where I don't think anyone's going to watch it, I think.
Jeremy, you started to mention the costume for next season. Talk a bit about the costumes and how they kind of inform all of your decisions that you make, because obviously they're a big part of the show.
Our costume department might be the most insane costume department of any job I've ever been on. I mean, like we did something recently where they had to put 300 extras in the most, I mean, every button had to be made perfectly so that it was completely authentic. And I think they had to go and get a load of fashion students to sew on 15,000 buttons or something outrageous like
Wow.
that. I mean, the details amazing. Absolutely amazing. I get a real kick out of it. A real kick out of it. Just at the moment on set the other day, just walking around going, this is really what it would have looked like. And that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Crazy. You have anything to add really quickly? I know we're almost out of time.
Yeah, I mean, same to what Jeremy said. It's, you're constantly going in for fittings before you've read the scripts and you'll put on an outfit and be like, oh my gosh, what's this for? And Julia's costumes throughout the series have got better and better and better. like,
Mm.
you know, as in more and more elaborate in the 1700s as she's worked her way up the social
Hang
ladder.
on. You do have a very funny one coming up in season 2 that we
I
won't
do.
spoil,
I
but
do.
I
All
couldn't,
right.
I mean, I couldn't, oh God, I
It
really
was good.
struggled to keep a straight face.
All right, we'll have to look for it and then think about it when I see it because you got me now
You'll
wondering
know when
when.
you see it. You'll know when you see it.
I'll know
Yeah.
when I see it. All right. Well, thank you both very much. I appreciate your time. Really enjoyed
Thank
season 1
you.
and can't wait for season 2. So
Thank
thank
you
you.
Thanks
so
so much.
much. Thanks for
Thank
taking
you.
the time. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.